Hello world, I'm an average Joe and I play games. And welcome to Destiny Deconstructed, where we break down the technical aspects of the game. And today we're going to be talking about what is the best class overall for Destiny Year 1. So let's get into it. So the first up, we're going to be talking about the best overall class over 7 different categories. So the first category is what I just call normal PvE content. So this is your story missions, your DLC story missions, your weekly heroic, your weekly nightfall, your daily story mission. All of that is normal PvE content, anything that's having to do with a story mission or a strike. And all classes really excel at this normal PvE content because it really comes down to your individual gun skill and your situational awareness, knowing when to take a hit, when to take cover, when to use your grenades and melee abilities, when to use your super, and also knowing how to play your class. And so knowing that, as a hunter, you can go invisible and you can go and you can revive your teammates, or as a titan, calling out your bubble so you don't bubble and then at the same time that one of your teammates is using a rocket and they blow themselves up. And as a warlock, knowing when to pop your self-res to save your self-res to help out your team as that kind of emergency release valve, or when to use your radiance to DPS a boss or to generate orbs for your team. So as long as you know those things, you can excel regardless of your class. So let's move on to the next category, that is in the Vault of Glass raid. So in Vault of Glass, Titans definitely excel because of the Defender bubble. Particularly earlier on, when people didn't know how to play Vault of Glass as good as they do now, or as well as they do now, having that Titan bubble helped out tremendously, particularly with the Atheon fight. Dropping a bubble in the back, having the relic shield, and getting weapons of light to just launch sniper rounds at Atheon. It's a thing of beauty. Having that bubble to retreat back through when you're I forgot what the name of the buff is, but when the buff expires and you lose the relic shield and everyone has to retreat, having that bubble in the back is immensely valuable. Warlocks, I think we kind of got the short end of the stick with Vault of Glass. Self-res is okay, Nova Bomb is okay, but it's nothing spectacular. Hunters, I think early on, the view that Hunters were not that great, but then when everyone discovered that Hunters are Oracle killing machines with their golden guns, then I think that Hunters now can hold their own in Vault of Glass. So let's move on to the next category, that is Crotas End. Crotas End was Hunter's time to shine, particularly early on with sword bearers when people didn't know how to sword bear against Crota very well. Hunters shined with their invisibility. The first solos of Crotas End was using Blade Dancer Hunters. Now anyone can basically solo Crotas End. I think everyone's kind of figured out how to play their particular class to solo it, if that's your thing. I've never been a big raid soloer, so I've never done it before, but there's plenty of videos out there online that demonstrate how to solo Crotas End with each of the classes, and each class can sword bear equally well as long as you know what you're doing and you've had some experience. Although Hunters are still a little bit easier because you can just drop the sword, go invisible, and then just stay up there on the platform and just chill out with Crota, waiting for his shield to drop. So the next category we have is Prison of Elders. So in Prison of Elders, so we had Titans were good in Vault of Glass, Hunters were good in Crotas End, and Warlocks are great in Prison of Elders. Having that self-res ability, particularly because you have the 30-second countdown timer in any of the Prison of Elders challenge modes, having that ability to self-res at key moments to help out your team, whether it's dismantling mines or just clutching it when your entire team goes down, or recovering when you're facing Quodron and you died because you weren't able to break out of the little jail bubble quick enough, or self-resing to put additional DPS on one of the critical targets. There's a ton of ways that Warlocks shine in Prison of Elders. The only things that Warlocks are not that great at in Prison of Elders is the mine dismantling phases of the different rounds. Titans with their defender bubbles and hunters being able to go invisible and then just set on mines and dismantle them really have the advantage over Warlocks in those particular cases. So that's Prison of Elders. Let's jump to our next category, which is the regular Crucible. So in regular Crucible, so this is everything that is, normal control or anything like that. And also throw Iron Banner in there, because Iron Banner isn't that different than regular Crucible, because it's a laggy mess. In regular Crucible, any class can really excel because weapon balance has been off in Crucible for so long that success in Crucible really depends on your weapon loadout more than it does your class. So if you're running Thorn and a shotgun and a grenades and horseshoes rocket launcher, that is going to set you up for success more than your class, in my personal opinion. Now, hunters do have a slight advantage because their super ability allows them to go off and hunt. Pardon the pun, if you will. So if you think about, Titans and Warlocks, their super abilities are very reactive, or in the case of Nova Bomb or Fist of Havoc, in order to get multiple kills, it largely depends on the positioning of the enemy. Not so with the Gunslinger and with the Blade Dancer. You pop your super and then you can go off hunting for people and take people out that are sometimes very far away from where you initially used your super. Now, Warlock self-res has the same, the Radiance has a similar feel, but it doesn't have the quite insta-death ability that Blade Dancers and Gunslingers have. So Hunters do get a slight advantage, maybe a 5 or 10% advantage in regular Crucible, but overall it really depends on your loadout. Now, in Trials of Osiris, Hunters are amazing because Gunslinger Hunter, you can wipe the entire enemy team. You activate your super and you just pop, 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 and you're done. Round over, move on to the next round. No other class has that ability to end the round so quickly that Hunter, Gunslinger, particularly Gunslingers, but Blade Dancers as well, do. Now, particularly earlier on in Trials of Osiris, Sunsinger Warlocks had their time to shine because I think people were kind of caught off guard sometimes with the self-res. I think now people are expecting it a little bit more, particularly the better Trials of Osiris players, and they know how to play around with self-res now. And in my experience, whenever I self-res, I just get, 2 rounds of found verdict to the face and I die, or I just get sniped, with one of those high-impact, efforty spear type snipers, and go down very, very quickly. So I think that Hunters are definitely the most powerful Trials of Osiris class. Now, the last category that we have is, let's talk about the gear. Which class has the better exotic gear? Hands down, it has to go to Titans. Titans have the Armamentarium, they have the Ruin Wings, both subclass neutral exotics that give you super powerful effects. Let's put it this way. A Sunsinger Warlock has to level up their entire skill tree to unlock double grenades, whereas Titans can have double grenades on any subclass they want. And, Armamentarium, what is it? It gives you heavy armor, or heavy ammo, and I think it gives you special ammo as well. It's like the confluence of the best 3 perks in the game that you could possibly have on armor. Helm of St. 14 is really good. Ruin Wings lets you just launch Gallarhorn rockets for days, which, by the way, public service announcement, use Gallarhorn when you can, because it's about to get nerfed. So, hands down, Titans have the best exotics. Following up in a close second are Hunters. Hunters also have very powerful exotics. Celestial Nighthawk, Active Symbiote, Mask of the Third Man are all very powerful. Even things like Lucky Raspberry, Capri Sting, and the Don't Touch Me's have had their days in the sun. Very nice, eclectic collection of exotics for Hunters that you can really do a lot of different things with the Hunter exotics that are on offer. Warlocks, you guys know, I'm a day 1 Warlock. I've been complaining about this for a long time. Warlock exotics really stink in Destiny Year 1. Sure, we got Obsidian Mind, which is amazingly fun to use, as long as you can use your Nova Bomb right and hit and kill multiple enemies at the same time. But aside from that, what else do we really have? Heart of the Praxic Fire gives you 1 extra grenade when you use your Radiance. Only really okay when you're doing DPSing with your Radiance, which is not all the time. The Ram, I know a lot of people love the Ram. I've used it a little bit, and I don't think that it really changes that much. Sure, it's on all the time, so that's can be helpful, but it's still kind of lackluster in my opinion compared to a lot of the other exotics that some of the other classes get. And then we have things like the Helm of Saint 14 Light, aka the Purifier Robes, or the Armamentarium Light, aka Starfire Protocol, both of which are strictly worse than the Titan exotics. So hands down, Titans have the best exotics in the game. Well, there you guys have it. Those are the best classes in Destiny Year 1. There's not one overall best class, but each class has had their day in the sun, and each class is better suited for certain activities that were available in Destiny Year 1, and I think the same will be true in Destiny Year 2. So let me know, comment section below, what class you're planning on coming into Destiny Year 2 using. I've been a day 1 Warlock. I have, 7, 8, 9, 10 days of game time on my Warlock, and only a little over a day on my other subclass or on my other classes. I'm really thinking about going into Destiny Year 2 primarily as a Titan, because again, Titans have the best exotics, and I'm really excited about the Titan Solar subclass. They get fusion grenades combined with Armamentarium. Well, there you go. You have the best grenades in the game. And you get a super ability that will allow you to DPS a little bit more than potentially than Radiance allows a Sunsinger Warlock to do. So we'll see. I'm gonna try it out. That's what I'm going to start out with, and we'll see. I may go back to my Warlock. I may have a hard time giving that up, but let me know what your guys' opinions are in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, and we will see you in the next game.